welcoming our keynote speaker and board member, Superintendent Dr. Dani Pfeiffer. The Chamber is full of passion, it's full of business leaders who have ideas, and not everything can happen. But no matter how crazy an idea that comes across through the Chamber, if I need to lean into the school district, they are always there. And even when I'm way off the range, Dr. Pfeiffer will be like, in a nice and supportive way, put me on the path where I need to go. And I just love that about that. And I know that you guys have that same experience with Dr. Pfeiffer. She has championed Federal Way Public Schools since 2015, serving as the Chief Academic Officer, the Deputy Superintendent, and in her role as Superintendent since July 2021. Under her leadership, the district has advanced its vision for excellence and equity, adopted supportive curriculum, expanded career and technical education, and launched innovative college and career readiness initiatives. With experience at all levels of education, Dr. Pfeiffer has served as a teacher, as a principal, and a district administrator. She holds a doctorate in educational leadership from Seton Hall University, a superintendent certification from Washington State University. Is that football? A master's in curriculum and instruction from Lesley University, and a bachelor's in elementary education from Oklahoma State University, where she also played collegiate softball, which is the thing that scares me the most. I just hit myself with my own paper. She holds high expectations and continues to seek out innovative programming and partnerships to ensure each scholar in Federal Way Public Schools is ready for their next steps after high school. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Dani Pfeiffer.
All right. Man, it's great to be here today. Thank you, Becca, for that introduction, and actually for the opportunity to share and highlight the work that's been happening in Federal Way Public Schools. Before I begin, I'd like to recognize, though, members of our audience. First, I'd like to acknowledge our board directors, as has been done before. Board President Dr. Jennifer Jones, Vice President Lakeisha Phillips, Board Directors Trudy Davis, Quinton Morris, and Joan Murphy. And I'd also like to recognize our elected officials and city officials, business and community partners, several of which are here today. Also in attendance are members of our parent advisory and scholar advisory to the superintendent, and a few students from our Thomas Jefferson Incubator program, accompanied by their teacher, Mr. Jones. I'd also like to acknowledge over nearly 3,000 Federal Way Public Schools team who do the work of educating and supporting our young people every single day. Most are unable to join us because they're in the classroom in schools doing what they need to do. But I'd like to acknowledge our principals and members of our leadership team here today. I'd also like to just shout out our scholar representatives to the board, Sophia, Izzy, and Yandel. Thank you for being here. During my years in Federal Way Public Schools, it's become increasingly clear to me how much more we can accomplish when working in partnership with organizations within our greater community. Throughout this presentation, I'll be spotlighting what we have and continue to accomplish together, holding our students at the center of our collective effort. I'll be using this image as our wayfinder today, starting with a brief overview of our student body, reminding us of all we have accomplished, our areas of focus for this year, and elevating what happens when we come together in service of our young people. Before I dive in, though, I'd like to center the voices of our scholars as they remind us about the rich diversity that makes up Federal Way Public Schools.
Hello there, we are excited to share some amazing things about our school district.
Did you know Federal Way Public Schools is the second most diverse school district in the state? We are also the 6th most diverse in the nation.
Did you know we come from 132 countries around the world?
And our students and families speak 115 languages.
Did you know there are 7,606 multilingual scholars in our district?
15% of students receive special education services.
These are just a few of the many amazing things that make the students of Federal Way Public Schools unique. And we are glad to hear a whole bunch more from Dr. Pfeiffer.
Yeah. All right, shout out for the kids. Just reinforcing and adding on to the voices of our students. And so we serve 21,500 students in our 37 schools. We have around 3,000 staff, and we're joined by over 4,400 volunteers and 37 established community partners. And as the students mentioned, we're one of the most diverse school districts in the country, and we toggle between second most and first most, depending if we get another country or another language represented. Over the course of the last few years, we've expanded the number of countries to 132, as well as the richness of moving from 104 languages last year to 115 languages this year. And as mentioned, 7,600 students are learning how to speak English, and approximately 15% are differently able. And every single student is filled with hopes and dreams for their future. We continue to see an increase in the number of students experiencing homelessness. As seen, we have seen an increase from 659 students experiencing homelessness in 2019-2020 to 802 scholars experiencing unstable nighttime residences. And similarly, in the 2019-2020 school year, 61% of our scholars were socioeconomically disadvantaged. And over the last several years, we have seen that number increase by 14%, rising to nearly 76. And even though there are barriers and challenges that our students face, we work together to meet the varying needs of each student. You see, I believe we are a community of possibilities that is centered on our students. And we have been awarded the privilege of partnering in service of our young people. In fact, we have already accomplished so much. Let's look back and take a look and highlight just a few examples. In 2015-16, we began the work that now drives our collective work. We developed together our strategic plan, which captures the voices of 3,000 people, a plan that is our North Star, expresses our collective vision, beliefs, goals that we have for our young people. We passed our historic bond that has allowed us to rebuild 7 of our schools with Illahee close to completion and Memorial Field. This would not have happened without the support and effort of our community members to help pass our bond. This paved the way for safe, up-to-date facilities and meet the needs of the scholars throughout our community. So thank you for your investment in our students' futures. When the pandemic hit, we abruptly shifted the way we provided educational services. Some of us would like to forget that. And then when we returned to in-person learning, and while this proved to be challenging for everyone, it took all of us, staff members of Federal Way Public Schools, along with our community partners, working together to provide educational services to our families and students. We have launched innovative CTE programs that relied on community partnerships to prepare our next workforce, including incubator, pre-apprenticeship program, a new and our NAF STEM Academy in the Federal Way Public Schools staff, community, labor, business, and higher education partners, and so much more. With CTE businesses and industry partners, with the Federal Way Mirror for Athlete of the Year, our families and business partners in our community, allowing our students' artwork to be displayed, showcased in their businesses. Every single example illustrates that we are better together. This quote here by Margaret Mead captures what happens every day in Federal Way Public Schools and in our greater community. Throughout, thoughtful and committed individuals that step up to invest in our young people. And together, we are changing outcomes for nearly 21,500 students. And I'm going to give you countless examples of our collective accomplishments and celebrations today. What I know is the work of educating and serving our young people is far too great to be done alone. It requires all of us to develop healthy, thriving, confident, and successful young people. and we are definitely better together. And over the last year, our teamwork focused on our young people has yielded numerous successes, whether in our student outcome data, program expansion to support students' post-secondary endeavors, or by ensuring our students have what they need to become confident and thriving young people. And I'm going to share a few of those celebrations with you using the 5 goals of our strategic plan as a guide. And I'll kick this off with goal 1, the early years, focused on our youngest of scholars in grades pre-K through 3, focusing on preschool and kindergarten most specifically. Knowing the important role that early learning plays in child success, we continue to invest and expand our early learning opportunities. We are now serving over 600 preschool scholars in our half-day programs and have expanded our full-day early learning programs to include 6 Bright Futures kindergarten programs and 16 ECAP classrooms that now serve 400 students. That's over 1,000 preschool students enrolled in early learning programs focusing on early literacy and numeracy skills, which pays off as they transition to kindergarten. And what we see as a result of that investment is an increase in the skills that are necessary for students to be considered ready for kindergarten. This past school year, we saw an all-time high of nearly 52% of our incoming kinders ready for kindergarten, as measured by the WAKids assessment, which assesses students in 6 key areas: literacy, numeracy, language, physical, cognitive, social, emotional skills. We won't be satisfied until we're at 100%, but we are making good gains, and that's where early learning plays a role. And all right, got a little excitement there. And what you see here is, regardless of what program our young people attend, all students have shown a marked increase in the percent of students that are ready for kindergarten when compared to previous years, which again sets them up for future success. And we will continue to expand our early learning programming, as it is the best prevention. And whether our youngest of learners are enrolled in a Federal Way Public Schools early learning program or one of our local early learning programs, we know that by working together, we can ensure that the early learners have the best experience possible. We value early learning as a greater community. So we collaborate and host early learning gatherings together with local early learning partners. This work is so critical to the success of our students. Advancing and gaining knowledge together to best serve our youngest learners. What we know is that when we learn, collaborate, and network together, we are most certainly better for our young people. So a shout out and a sincere thank you to our local early learning providers for your investment in our students. And our celebrations and recognitions continue into goal 2, the whole child. One of the things that we know matters most is school climate. Do students have a teacher and an adult that they can rely on? Do they feel a sense of belonging, like school is for them? And does the school setting feel safe, both emotionally and physically? And I'm excited to share that over the past 3 years, you can see a steady increase in each of these areas. This is a direct result of our intentional and continued emphasis on social emotional learning, with targeted efforts in building relationships, positive behavior systems, our social emotional learning curriculum, and making sure that our schools are a place for all students. Further, we know that our parents are their child's most important advocate and teacher, and they need to remain well-informed to support their child's learning. And because of our strong partnerships, we continue to increase our overall family participation rate, seeing a 3% increase in student-led conferences from 23 to spring of 24. And further, while this information will not be shared publicly until January, OSPI has shared exciting data with us around our attendance. We have seen a 4% increase in regular attendance from 22-23 to 23-24, and nearly every grade and student group has improved. And that's because of all of the blue shirts in the audience here, just working hard, and I know some of you don't have blue, but represent, okay? This is a true celebration considering the trends nationally on attendance, and a perfect example of all of us. Federal Way Public Schools, students, families, community-based organizations wrapping around supports for kids. We will continue to increase this number with intentional efforts. And last year we held the first ever Attendance Cup, which we are following up this year with the Attendance Quest, which launches this month. We know how important breakfast is for our students in providing necessary fuels for their brains and their bodies, leading to improved concentration and better academic outcomes. With financial support from the United Way of King County, we have been able to offer breakfast in the classrooms, a program that allows students to eat in their classroom at the very start of the school day, ensuring they receive the nutrition that they need to succeed. Schools with breakfast in the classroom average 74% of students eating breakfast daily, compared to schools with traditional breakfast before school in the cafeteria at 28% participation. With average free and reduced rates in the 70s, this program allows those in need for breakfast to access breakfast. And similarly to King County Partnership that sees the important role breakfast plays in developing healthy young people, we have countless additional partnerships that prioritize our students and their needs to increase the likelihood of their success. You see, we are better together, and here are a few more examples. Buckle in, they deserve to be recognized, and several have been invited to join us here today. We're better together with community partners like Phenomenal She, who has provided over 650 Federal Way Public Schools female scholars of color with mentorship, academic enrichment, encouragement, and empowerment. El Centro de la Raza, who helps students navigate the path towards higher education, mentorship, and leadership opportunities. Game of Life, who most recently organized a back-to-school block party to support our scholars and families, and who provides mental health supports and guidance to our young men of color. Progress Pushers, who empower youth through mentorship, individualized supports, and resources so that youth most impacted by societal systems become confident leaders and realize their full potential. Community partners like our service organizations, the Lions, Kiwanis, and Rotary, whose service projects frequently center around support for our students, like recently donated English language dictionaries from the Lions Club, a student motivation and recognition program run by Kiwanis, and the annual scholarships provided by Rotary to support our students' future goals. Red Canoe, thank you for generously collecting and donating school supplies for our students, as well as partnering us to teach financial literacy and mentor students in our YES network. South King Fire, who organizes a coat drive for our students as part of Operation Rain. Lake Haven Water District, who consistently shares the science behind water management at our STEM Exploration Night. Federal Way Cares for Kids, who supports our families by organizing community partners to donate toys and funds to ensure those in need feel cared for. Communities in Schools, who provide comprehensive resources and supports to students. Bridging a Gap, who provides weekend meals to our students in partnership with many of our faith-based organizations. JTM and Garner Construction, who have donated and distributed 1,200 Thanksgiving Day meals to our families. And We Love Our City, who collaborates with our faith-based communities, holding community cleanups and bike events, and this partnership is definitely felt through collaboration with Federal Way Cares for Kids and Fill the Canoe. Countless partnerships, and if you weren't shouted out, be ready, because you are going to be showing up again and again for our students. Goal 3 of our strategic plan is focused on creating programming and opportunities and experiences that engage, empower, and help to develop critical thinkers. We've been focused on creating experiences and programs that are more relevant and engaging for our young people. And that focus has started to pay off as we see an increase in perceptions of our young people sharing that they feel more engaged in coursework and school experiences. We also saw a small increase around rigorous expectations, which will continue to be a focus for all of us. And we know the important role that STEM plays and will play in the future for our students. Therefore, we continue to offer a wide range of STEM opportunities to our scholars both inside and outside of the school day. 26 of our schools participated in the first LEGO League, which is a hands-on experience, students focused on fundamentals of engineering and coding. We'll also be hosting the second annual First LEGO League regional competition right here in Federal Way. Further, every second and third grader in Federal Way Public Schools experiences coding and computer science through a partnership with Project Lead the Way. And 8,500 students have participated in additional STEM activities. Additionally, a record 3,600 people attended our STEM Exploration Night last spring, with higher education, STEM businesses, and industry partners, families, students, experienced the world of STEM and the possibilities that exist in these fields. And this year, I'm proud to announce that we are expanding and reimagining our STEM night to include the arts. Our annual event is now known as STEAM Exploration, and this year's theme is STEAM the Dream. Students are further engaged in numerous clubs and activity in Federal Way. Sportsmanship has been a central focus in our athletic department this year. Through Scholar Sportsmanship Summits, visual displays are at our athletic events, pre-game scholar-driven sportsmanship announcements. We have seen increases in sportsmanship and teamwork alike, teamwork being a key aspect in life. We have successfully implemented a district-wide Thank a Ref program to recognize our officials for all their efforts in supporting education-based athletics, and produced a student-centered sportsmanship video. And knowing how important it is for students to be connected to an activity in some way, it decreases the likelihood of dropping out. We increased the number of participants in our middle school intramural program, and will begin our unified sports basketball program, an inclusive sports program designed for students that are differently abled. In addition to STEM, athletics and activities for our students, like our award-winning math and robotics club at TJ, or our culinary arts program at Federal Way High School, or our theater programs, we offer a robust music program to actively engage our students, and we have several key student and staff celebrations. The Sequoia Jazz Band has achieved the honor of performing at All Northwest after a competitive audition process, showcasing their incredible talent. 3 Lakota students have been selected out of 1,500 to join 120 of the most outstanding young musicians in Washington for the WMEA Junior All-State Honor Band, and will perform at the 2025 National Association for Music Education Northwest Division on February 16th. The Decatur High School Jazz Band was selected as Outstanding High School Band Ensemble for the 47th Downbeat Student Award. Now, Downbeat is one of the most prestigious publications in the country, so quite an accomplishment. And Jeff Chang, Decatur High School music teacher, is the recipient of the Dr. William P. Foster Project Community Development Award for the Northwestern Division, one of 6 high school music teachers recognized in the nation for their outstanding contributions to music education. These honors highlight the exceptional music programs in Federal Way Public Schools. And knowing how critical summer learning is for our academic development, we continue to provide robust and engaging summer learning opportunities. We had 1,300 students participate in summer learning. These offerings focus on academics, acceleration, college and career readiness, and language development. Our Students at Employment and Transition program, a program designed to meet the needs of students with neurodivergent differences and developmental disabilities beyond the high school years, have been focused on career exploration and skill building as they created our very own student-run van pool. Think of it like Federal Way Public Schools Hertz Rent-A-Car. Students perform basic maintenance on vans as well as check vans in and out across the district. Further, 18 of our ETP scholars completed 3 new ability awareness videos in partnership with KVTC Public Television. Our students chose the topics, they assisted in writing the scripts, and they starred as main characters. This would not have been possible without the partnership of KBTC Public Television, our ETP staff, as well as our community partners. Next up for ETP is a coffee cart. You see, whether it's KBTC Public Television, businesses that help give our youth job opportunities, or those that partner with us for summer learning and STEM opportunities, it's evident that we truly are better together. I want to thank our Puyallup Tribe partners who are invaluable to us through consultations, grants, and collaborative curriculum development, ensuring Native history and culture are celebrated within educational spaces. They are pivotal in our garden program in sharing the history of Native plants and the stories and recipes that accompany them, like the story of the first strawberry and the recipe for nettle tea. The Marine Hills Garden Club has consistently supported Federal Way Public Schools gardens with plants, materials, funding, gardening knowledge. Just in June, members Judy, Carrie, and Mary Beth taught scholars planting techniques, including newspaper scraps at Twin Lakes Garden opening. We are grateful for our partnership with the Federal Way Arts Foundation, or Arts Foundation Federal Way. Thank you, Arts Foundation Board, particularly Mary, Jean, and Paul, that continue to find ways to offer opportunities free of charge for our students, 700 of them right now in the theater, to attend live theater performance. 3,000 students experienced live theater last year, and we're excited to continue partnering with the foundation to host the second annual All Federal Way Public Schools Band event, featuring middle and high school students. Thanks, and a shout out also to the PAC. We couldn't do it without you. You see, better together with partners that invest in supporting engaged, empowered critical thinkers. Our Seattle Sounds Rave Foundation, who is helping us keep our community active. They donated 2 mini soccer pitches at Olympic View in Illahee. Our Technology Access Foundation partners, who make certain that learning come alive with STEM integrated units of study. Our City of Federal Way continues to be an important partner, especially with Storming the Sound with salmon, where each year scholars learn about the salmon life cycle and environmental factors that contribute to their survival. This includes raising salmon eggs to fry and takes provided and maintained by the city, thank goodness, before releasing them into the local waterways. Thank you, Federal Way. And we continue to see small and steady gains and upward trends in Goal 5, or mastery of all subjects. iReady is a benchmark assessment that measures a student's growth towards grade level standards. And while we still have work to do, we see an increase and accelerate student academic growth. Last year, we had 19% increased students on level reading from fall to spring, and 22% increase in math with students on level from fall to spring. And when we examine our data from the end of year statewide assessment, or the SBA, in English language arts, 13 of our students demonstrated advanced grade level knowledge, 34% demonstrated consistent grade level knowledge, and cumulatively 56% demonstrated foundational grade level and advanced grade level skills and knowledge. And in math SBA, 9% of our students advanced grade level, 22% consistent grade level, and cumulatively 45% foundational, advanced, or grade level. In both English and language arts will remain a focus for us. Our progress in the Seal of Literacy is something that we take very great pride in. We continue to see an increase in the number of students earning their Seal of Literacy, a rigorous test that requires students to demonstrate proficiency in reading, writing, and speaking in a language other than English, an all-time high of 222 students receiving this seal. And as we closed our school year last year, we were notified by the Washington State Board of Education that 8 of our schools are being recognized for academic gap closing growth made in past years. This happens because of collective efficacy, the belief that all students can achieve. And more recently, Taft-Sahaly was awarded and recognized as a school on the rise for their work focused on student-adult collaboration centered on improvement. And our continued upward trend and results like these demonstrate that we're truly better together. Our families and students provide a vital voice and feedback around how we can make our schools better for our young people. And we have representatives here today for both scholar and parent representatives. Thank you, Jim, Jason, Chica, for representing our parent advisory group. Thank you, Brandon, Isabella, Ricky, Ashley, Kyle, Sophia, Yandel, and Izzy, representing our scholars. Both groups meet monthly to provide feedback related to topics such as creating safe and more inclusive environments, making classroom instruction more rigorous and relevant, the important role that motivating students to attend regularly plays. In fact, our scholar advisory members helped generate the solutions towards attendance, sense of belonging, summer school offerings, and leadership opportunities. It was actually their idea that allowed us to propel the attendance cup. And our successes would not be possible without the partnership of 3,000 dedicated staff members of Federal Way Public Schools, supporting both our operations and instructional side of the house. And finally, thank you to our 5 incredibly dedicated school board members that inform, endorse, and set the strategic direction of our district, placing students at the center of all decisions. Congratulations on 9 years in a row of being WASDA's School Board of Distinction. And now, Goal 5, which is focused on high school graduation through successful transition. It continues to be an area of strength and one where our students absolutely shine. For example, we ended last year with 84.2% graduation rate, relatively consistent with previous years. And worth recognizing is the graduating class of 2024 was awarded $12 million in scholarships to continue to pursue their post-secondary dreams. And 100% of every student that walked across that stage had a life and had a plan for life after high school. And as many of you know, if the dream includes attending type of college or training after high school, it's expensive. One of the most important things we can do as a school district is ensure that students have the financial resources that they need to pursue their dreams. That happens when the completion of the financial aid packet. And despite the national issue with applications themselves, we continue to outpace the state by nearly 18%, demonstrating our commitment to our students' future dreams. Career and Technical Education, or CTE, courses allow students an opportunity to experience practical real-world skills and knowledge. It's directly related to their chosen career field, bridging the gap between the classroom and learning. We currently have over 6,000 students enrolled in one or more CTE courses, several of which earn college credit. On average, our scholars take 6 CTE courses by the time they graduate, allowing them to experience several career paths, and we currently offer over 83 CTE courses. Federal Way Public Schools continues to have more high school graduates, I say it again, more high school graduates taking one or more advanced course than any other school district in the Road region. When students take advanced coursework, it allows them to demonstrate deeper analysis, complex problem solving, prepares them for rigorous college coursework, and earn potential college credit, and increase students' ability for merit scholarships. And as we celebrate the gifts and the talents of our young people, here's one more. We had over 939 scholars awarded guaranteed admissions to attend 4-year colleges. That means they met the admissions requirement and were automatically admitted to at least one of 8 universities. And that only includes Washington State colleges and universities. We had students also enroll in 2- and 4-year programs throughout the country. And 85% of those students who enroll in a 4-year university persist beyond their first year, indicating they are well prepared for post-secondary pursuits. But these successes didn't happen without great partners, and I'd like to spotlight just a few. Our district partnership with the National Academy Foundation exemplifies the power of collaboration to unlock student potential and prepare for the future. Through NAF's nationally recognized educational design, we provide students with access to rigorous coursework, career-focused, and real-world experiences. Pictured here is our first white coat ceremony for students that are part of the biomedical pathway, celebrating their accomplishments. We also are grateful for our partnership with Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, and more specifically Cynthia Ricks-MacTan, who is helping to arrange future real-world shadowing and internship job opportunities. Or like Build to Lead, who mentor our young people and help to make visible more options for them to consider for their future, from attending college to being entrepreneurs and business owners. They also offer workshops that students, parents, local businesses can benefit from. They are living the exact mission that is on their website. As an example, this is a picture of Melanin in Medicine, an event held at Thomas Jefferson sponsored by Build to Lead, with support from Morehouse School of Medicine and 2 more of our community partners, Virginia Mason Franciscan Health and HealthPoint, provided this experience for our students. I want to thank Junie for making this possible. There are many of you in this room, like Jack Walsh or Cindy Dusich, who mentor and champion our students as part of our Incubator Entrepreneurship Program. As Esmeralda, Kennedy, Michaela, and Mr. Jones, I see you. These mentors provide valuable knowledge and wisdom to help our students create their own business and develop a marketing plan. Or our labor and industry partners, who ensure that our students are getting exactly what they need, whether it's trade experience, tools, or connections. Or how about our very own King County Council member, Pete Von Reichbauer, who ensures that our pre-apprenticeship program has the financial resources necessary to continue to provide the highest quality experiences for our students. Or CPE mentors like Ann Eisenman of Qualis, who make sure that our students are building relevant industry skills and knowledge as they explore careers to build a bright future. Or our legislative representatives, who are constantly advocating at the legislative level for future funding and support for Federal Way Public Schools. We thank you. And finally, our Chamber of Commerce, who consistently offers support with not only our incubator program, but ensuring that Federal Way Public Schools scholars and its 21,500 students are included in their strategic direction related to industry and workforce trends, particularly in the areas of STEM-related fields, positioning our scholars to have proper skills for future employment. And while there's so much to celebrate, and we remain focused on improving our outcomes for students, so I will share a little bit more about the improvement efforts. Hold on, we're going to go quickly. With an emphasis in continuous improvement, we have identified 3 major areas of focus: math, English language arts, and attendance. And a drink of water. Our academic focus continues to be on the implementation of what we call multi-tiered systems of support. You can think of it as every student getting exactly what they need. Now in year 3, we are focusing on small group instruction for all students. We are also deeply invested in math and math instruction while maintaining attention in ELA. And this year we have introduced what's called our district support team, members of our central office, which provides additional training and presence in our schools to support instructional improvement based on needs identified by student achievement. And in addition to focused professional development in the area of math across our district, we're implementing thinking classrooms at our middle schools, which emphasizes math exploration, critical thinking, curiosity, collaboration, and accountable math talk. We will continue with our improvement networks, which is focused on a problem of practice in order to improve student outcomes. We'll continue to focus these networks in several areas, one of which is attendance, which yielded great results, as you saw earlier in my presentation. As community of learners in Federal Way, we continue to seek and grow in our practices to increase student achievement. During our school improvement plan presentation, we identified schools that are accelerating student growth. Showcasing and sharing practices from these schools allow us to learn from one another. We know that multiple pathways for our scholars lead to great outcomes, and we're continuing to expand our options for CTE. This year we'll launch our Academy of Health Sciences at Todd Beamer in Decatur, launch a STEM Academy at Federal Way, introduce a drone curriculum at the middle school and high school levels, as well as plan to expand our pre-apprenticeship programs in automotive with our partnership of Patrick Kenworth, as well as welding. We also have plans in 25-26 year to launch new computer science courses, cybersecurity, launch an electrical pre-apprenticeship program, and the Academy of Visual Arts at Thomas Jefferson High School, as well as develop a media and broadcasting pathway. Tapping into our community strength, important role being multilingual plays in a global society, we're expanding our dual language programming in addition to Spanish and English at 3 of our schools. We will now expand to Olympic View K-8 with 2 dual language pathways, Spanish and English and Korean English. We are excited to partner with our Korean community, Korean Consulate General, and the Korean School of Federal Way to make this particular program happen. Through partnerships with King County Department of Health and funded in partnership with the USDA's Farm to School grant, this year we have begun the School Garden to Cafeteria program. Scholars plant, grow, and harvest foods that are in turn served in our school cafeterias. This program is the first in King County to be approved to serve school garden foods in the school lunch program. Throughout the remainder of the school year and into next year, scholars will grow and harvest tomatoes, garlic, radish, peppers, lettuce, and cabbage. So stop by and fill your bellies. To support our scholars in developing their leadership skills as well as supporting them to the move into middle school and high school, we've implemented what's called the Web and Link Crew programs, where students in upper grades serve as peer mentors and leaders to help new students positively transition to the next level. To support our scholars in developing their future orientation, we continue to expand college and career exploration. We'll continue our Kinders to College program, which provides every kindergarten to experience a college campus, allowing them to be exposed to and dream about their future careers. Our 5th grade students will be visiting different high schools and visiting CTE classrooms to gain a better understanding of what's possible in their future. And our 8th graders students will engage in virtual college tours to better understand what colleges have to offer them. And finally, last spring we began the work of a portrait of a graduate. This is a collaborative effort bringing together a wide range of community members, inclusive of scholars, families, staff members, business partners, higher ed, and community members, to define the skills, abilities, and mindset each and every scholar should know and be able to do upon high school graduation. This work will inform our decisions and serve as a foundation as we refresh our strategic plan this coming next year. We have held 1 meeting already this year. Tomorrow night is the next meeting, and we have 160 voices represented at that meeting. So our community partnership strengthens our mission to inspire lifelong learning by equipping students with the skills, connections, and confidence needed to thrive in college, careers, and beyond. Together, we create opportunities that extend far beyond the classroom, ensuring every student is empowered to build a brighter future. So, on behalf of 21,500 students, thank you for your unwavering dedication and support, for believing in our students and lifting them up. We truly are better together. And just like we started, I'm going to allow our scholar reps to the board, Sophia, Izzy, and Yandel, to share a message, and then I'll quickly close with a final send-off.
In Federal Way Public Schools, every day is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to work toward our dreams. And we can do so, and much more, together. It's about what happens in the classrooms and about our families, staff, and community partners, coming together to make a difference in our lives.
When families and teachers support us, we feel like we can do anything. And when our community shows up for us, like helping with school supplies and backpacks, coming to events like Career Day, or taking time to mentor us, we know we're part of something bigger.
When everyone works together, we feel safe and excited to learn. It's like we have a big team cheering us on to reach our dreams.
Together, we're building a future where every student feels prepared for success, whether it's trade school, an apprenticeship, the military, college, or even a dream that is yet to be discovered.
We're better together because we all have something to offer. Every effort, every bit of support, it all counts.
When you support us, we have what we need to overcome challenges. We feel proud and excited to do our very best every day. Thank you for being on our team.
To our Federal Way community members who believe in us and our futures, thank you. Your support means the world to us.
When we all come together, we can create schools that inspire, uplift, and prepare us for what's next. We are better together, and we're grateful for every person who chooses to stand with us.
We are better together because of you.
We are better together because of you.
We are better together because of you.
I'd like to thank you for all that you do to make us better and for your generosity and kindness of heart. Our leadership team members have a symbol of our appreciation and a reminder that we truly are better together. Leadership team members, if you could hand it to our business partners as we're transitioning up. And I thank you again for the time. Appreciate you.